Beautiful. All right, gorgeous ones. So let's start today in an easy seat. So if you want to sit on cushions or blankets, feel free to, oh yes, very comfy, cozy. It just helps open the hips a little when we sit on a cushion or a block. So sometimes it can just make it a little bit more restful to sit in our easeful seat. So we're finding that comfortable seat, that settling upon the earth. And from here we can think about gently lifting through our center. That image I often use of the person pulling us by a little thread, or maybe we imagine our little shining crown shining up towards the sunshine above us. That gentle sense of lift and length through the spine. And you can rest the hands wherever you like. If you feel like you want to take a little movement, whether that be a roll of the shoulders or a movement of the neck, feel free just to take your time to settle, especially if you're feeling tension in the shoulders or the neck. You can take a little kind of unravel, unfurl before we settle. And when you do feel ready to do so, we'll just settle the hands or close the eyes. And we'll start our practice with the breath. The rise and fall of the breath in rhythm. The physical rise and fall of the tummy, of the chest. As we bring our awareness inwards to the breath, to bring our mindfulness, our attention here, we're drawing our awareness perhaps a little away from whatever sort of week we've had, whatever busy thoughts, whatever to-do lists we might be working with. The idea is that we're just leaving the outside world, just leaving it for a little while. We're going to draw our awareness inwards and let our mindfulness, our awareness settle within to body, breath and mind. So as the awareness settles upon the breath, it, in its journey inwards, might also sweep around the body. Maybe we notice how we're feeling this morning or today. So if you've got any injuries, any areas of tension you're working with, we're just taking a mental note of that. Or maybe you're just aware of how your legs, your feet, your bum feels settled upon the earth, supported. Maybe you're enjoying a sensation of letting go of any tension in the shoulders. So just any little notes of awareness through the body, we can check in with those. And if we're aware of any busy thoughts that are jumping around in our mind, maybe we just pull them and pop them at the side of the room. Like we're just writing those little thoughts on a post-it note and just sticking them on the wall. So we can come back to them later, but we'll just place them elsewhere for our precious time of calm and ease. So just when you feel ready, we'll gently open the eyes. And then from here, what we'll do is we'll just sweep the arms high as if we're trying to reach up towards the ceiling, to the sunshine, to the sky above. Beautiful. So that gentle extension through the body. And then I'll mirror you as we drop the left hand, and we'll just take a side stretch. You can slide the hand away if you want to make this pose stronger, or you can keep the hand close to the body if you want to be a little more gentle. We keep those sit bones rooted in the earth. So if you find yourself tilting off to the side, you've gone a little too far. Gaze can go wherever you like, so you can float it up to the sky or let it fall to the earth. And when you're ready, we'll reach high, so we'll sweep up to ceiling, and we'll take it over to the other side. We're taking our time, so if you begin to settle in and feel that you can take it further, feel free to walk or slide the hand away. And then as we rise up skywards once more, long through the body, reaching high, we're going to hinge with the hips. We're going to come into a forward fold, so the hands are going to come to the earth. We're going to let the head hang heavy. And take your time to get comfortable here. If you need a little extra softness underneath the feet or ankles, feel free to bring that in, or you can always extend the legs out in front of you if it's not comfortable to fold over crossed legs. So we're taking our time, letting the head hang heavy. When you feel ready, you will gently rise through head and heart. So we're going to come back to upright. Lovely. Feel free to reach up high if you want to reach up high, whatever you feel inspired to do. Gorgeous. So from here, we're going to come to wide legs. So as always, take it just as far as is comfortable. So this might be happy for you. If you find wide legs particularly challenging, then I suggest what you do is just take a really deep bend in the knees and have the soles of the feet on the floor. So this can be your wide legs, this can be your wide legs, this can be your wide legs. So whatever works for you. And then we're going to come into that fold again. So again, nice and tall through the torso. We'll just hinge from the hips, and you can walk the hands. If you want to sweep the arms, feel free to do so. And we're going to find our place where we can just let the head hang heavy. So again, take your time. If this feels very strong, come into that nice soft knee, soles of the feet on the floor, and you can just take it really restful. If you want to bring the legs close together, you can. Or if you're totally happy, you can just ignore me and hang out exactly where you are. We're going to take a few more breaths here, but if you feel that you're ready to come out of the pose, you're welcome to do so. If you feel like you want to kind of come out and have a little wiggle, you can do so. So we'll take a few breaths in whatever way works for us. Excuse me. And from here, we're going to rise up. So we're going to come back to upright. Beautiful. So we're going to move into a twist here. I'll mirror you. So we'll take the right hand on the outside of the left thigh. The other hand's going to come on the other behind us. And we're just going to use the arms to gently spiral the heart, the shoulders and the gaze around to the side of the room. So a twist through the torso, but we want to keep that spine nice and tall. And then we're just going to gently unravel. We'll take it round to the other side. So whatever's the opposite side for you now, we'll just gently spiral round. And then when you're ready, we'll gently unravel back to center. We're going to scoop the knees in. We're going to journey to a tabletop position. So get comfortable. And we'll just do a couple of cat-cows here. So just in your own time, we'll flex the spine in on the inhale, flex it out on the exhale. So we're just going to do a couple of these to move into the spine. If you feel like you want to do a little side to side wiggle instead, feel free to add that one in too. So this is really just a little moment to flex and wiggle the spine and the hips in our own way. And when you feel ready, we're going to come back to the neutral spine. So we're coming back to all fours. We're going to move into a low lunge here. So take your time. We're going to bring the sole of the right foot and just bring it between the hands. So take your time to get comfortable. Ideally, we want the knee to be directly above the ankle. Lovely. So there's no rush, there's no hurry. We'll just make our way into the low lunge in our own way. And then what we'll do is we'll bring the hands to the knee, and then we can just use the hands to gently lift us through the torso. Beautiful, so we're nice and tall here. Now, if having the hands on the knee feels nice and steady for you, feel free to leave the hands there. Or if you want to, you can sweep the hands high, so we're reaching to the sky once more. So you can leave the hands on the leg, or you can sweep them high. Beautiful. And the gaze can be forward, or maybe we float the gaze to the sky as well. If that's feeling beautifully lifting for you, we can take our gaze skyward. Remember those easeful breaths. And then from here, we're all going to bring our hands to heart center in prayer. Lovely. So we haven't done this one for a while, so we'll just take it nice and slow. We're going to rotate through the torso and take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, keeping the hands in that prayer position, so we're nice and strong through the arms. If the balance is just not happy with this, feel free to just take the hand to support you, and you can keep just one hand at the heart if you like. So you can have a hand for support, or we can have both hands in the prayer. Beautiful. Easeful breaths. We're using those arms to gently spiral the torso. The arms are acting like a little framework to help us. Beautiful work, everybody. What we'll do is just ever so gently rotate back through the core, so we're back in the lunge position. Let's take a nice inhale and just sweep the arms up. And exhale to sweep the hands down. Beautiful. From here, what we'll do is we'll bring ourselves back to all fours, and then we're going to settle into a nice child's pose. So a little pause here. So we can take the knees wide if we wish, but you can come into any child's pose you like. So whatever is your favorite. Take your time to settle upon the earth and breathe. Just letting yourself settle towards the ground. Find a lovely moment in pause. Beautiful. So for now, we're going to journey back to all fours, but don't worry, we'll be back in some more child's pose later, so it's not our only one. So we'll square the hips and knees back up into tabletop. And then once again, it's the low lunge. We're going to do it on the other side now. So we're going to sweep the left foot between the hands. So we're finding that low lunge position, the knee above the ankle. If you want to kind of open into the right hip more, you can always slide the back knee away and you feel it much stronger in the hip. Again, we'll take our time to bring the hand to the knee and lift through the torso. There is no rush. Take as long as you need. And again, you can leave the hands on the knee if that's feeling good. Or if you want to, you can float the hands up to the sky. If you want something in between, you can always bring the hands to heart center here. So there's always somewhere in between. So feel free to listen to your body, listen to your shoulders and your hips. What's feeling right today? Really nice. We'll just take a few more lovely breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're all going to bring our hands to heart center in prayer. Lovely. So the hands are just in front of the heart. Again, taking our time, we're going to come into that rotation. So we're taking the right elbow on the outside of the left knee, but take your time. We're just gently spiraling through the torso. If it all feels too much, just take the right hand and use that as your support, and then you can gently twist. And you can either have the left hand at the heart, or you can even just rest it on the left knee. Beautiful. So we're taking our time in whatever twist works for us. I'll just turn so you can see that other option to bring the hand into support. Beautiful, really nice, easeful breath. So whether we're in the supported or the twisted prayer, we're taking our time, we're breathing. Beautiful work, everybody. Let's gently unravel the torso. We're going to come back to prayer hands for a moment. So we just stop right here. Let's take a lovely inhale. We'll sweep the hands high. And exhale, hands to earth. Beautiful. So once again, we're journeying back to child's pose. So we bring the knee back to the earth, and you can come to child's pose of your choice. So you can come to wide knees, you can come to narrow knees, you can have the arms reaching forward, or you can wrap them towards your toes. So lots of lovely options. You can come to your favorite, most restful child's pose. And just enjoy settling to the earth. Those low lunge twists are maybe a little bit stronger than we're used to on a Sunday. So we're just giving ourselves a chance to rest now. Do a little bit of work with power and balance, and now we can settle into the earth. Maybe we reconnect to our breath. Just take that time. We'll take just a few more breaths here in lovely child's pose. Beautiful. So what we'll do from child's pose, once again, we'll come back to tabletop. So we're going to come back to the all fours. We'll square hips and knees back up. Lovely. We're going to move into our pigeon pose here. So as always, I'll show you an alternative afterwards if pigeon pose is not the right pose for you today. But if you want to come into the pigeon, we'll slide our right knee up towards our right wrist. And then we're going to take the ankle over to the left wrist. So we're crossing the lower leg over the center line of the mat. Our hips and shoulders stay square. We're sliding the back knee away, so we're really opening through the hips. You can bring as much support in if you like. If you find the right hips floating in space, you can always bring a cushion or a block to support you to stay square. And then from here, you can stay on hands, you can come onto forearms, or you can melt all the way down to the ground. So that's the pigeon. If that is too much for you today, if it's feeling a little too much on the knees or ankles, then the alternative is the figure four shape. So we come onto our backs, we bring the ankle on top of the knee, and we're gently opening through the hip socket. So it's a similar target area of the hip, but we've taken all of the weight off the knees and the legs. So it's just a little more restful. So take your time, whether it's the pigeon or the figure four. Finding our place. Beautiful. If we're working with the pigeon, you can always bring yourself higher up. So the higher up we are, the less pressure we're putting on the hips and knees. So if you want to bring, for example, a cushion or a block underneath the elbows, just lifts us up a little bit, just makes everything slightly more easeful. So we're taking our time, finding our place. When you're ready, we'll gently bring the hands under the shoulders. We're lifting gently through head and heart. And then we're just going to slide back to tabletop and just give ourselves a moment here. So you might want to wiggle the hips side to side. You might want to straighten the legs for a moment. So whatever feels nice for you. If there's a transition pose that you like. Hang out in a down dog if you like, or a puppy dog, or anything you want to do, just for a moment, just for a breath or two. Beautiful. Just unraveling, unraveling from the pigeon. Yeah. Spreading our little pigeon wings. Beautiful. So in your own time, we're going to journey to the other side with the pigeon. So we're going to slide left knee to left wrist. Again, we're crossing the leg over the center line, sliding the hips away. You can stay on the hands, you can come into forearms, you can mount all the way down to the ground, you can bring in cushions, blocks, blankets, whatever feels right for you. And we're taking our time to settle into the pose. Taking our time to breathe, to settle, to find our peaceful place, whatever that is for us. Beautiful. So once again, slow and steady, the hands will come under the shoulders to lift gently through the heart. We'll slide back to tabletop and we'll take a moment to, again, just take a little unravel. So it might be that we take a wiggle with the hips. We might stretch through the legs. If you want to come into a pose like down dog, for example, you're welcome to give yourself a moment to stretch through the legs in your own way. Gorgeous. So slow and steady, we'll gently come to ground. So we're going to bring our bums to the earth. We're going to sweep the legs around, soles of the feet together. So we're coming into that butterfly pose, that cobbler's pose. So we're drawing the heels as close towards the hips as is comfortable. We are rising through the torso, we're drawing the knees down towards the earth. If this already feels enough in the hips, you're welcome to stay upright here and work with the hips. If you want to, we can hinge from the hips and draw into a forward fold, letting the heart and the head come down towards the big toes. So you can make this a fold, or you can stay upright and just work with the hips. So whatever works for you, or if you want to take a few breaths in both versions, take your time. Take a few more easeful breaths wherever we are, whether we're hinged forwards or tall through the body. And then if you are hinged forwards, we'll gently rise up here. So we come back to upright. And then from here, we're going to come into our lovely reclining version of this pose. So check you've got some space behind you. We're going to leave the soles of the feet together. We're going to recline upon the earth. And then the arms can go wherever you like. So they can go wide, they can rest on the body, or they can go overhead to mirror the shape of the legs. So whatever feels most comfortable for you. So lovely passive pose. So give yourself a chance to bring in support if you want cushions under the knees or any support under the head. We'll bring that softness in so we can really relax in this space. We've got that lovely sense of this opening of the hips. We've worked quite a bit with the hips today. As we approach May Day, Beltane or Beltane. It's this lovely idea of kind of the warming of the earth. Because Beltane is traditionally a Celtic festival, it seemed very appropriate to work with the hips today because there's this beautiful Celtic lore about our hips being a cauldron. It's known as the cauldron of warming. So this is where our inner fire comes from. So as we gently ease and open through the hips, we're creating maybe some ease, maybe some release from tight hips, but also some warming as well. Lovely idea of gently warming through the cauldron of our hips that can then rise up through our bodies. And although it's not quite time for Shavasana yet, we can just really bask in this space. If we want to close the eyes, we can just be restful, be easeful as we find that space. So from this restful place, we're just going to draw the knees together and the soles of the feet are going to come to the earth. From here, we'll take the arms out wide upon the ground like a T shape or cross. And we're just going to let our knees fall over to the right and the gaze to the left. So we're just coming into that lovely supine twist. Again, a passive pose. So we can just journey here with any support that we want under the knees or anything. And then we can just settle in. When you're ready, we're going to journey over to the other side. So we'll take the knees over to the left, the gaze to the right. From here, we'll draw the knees and the gaze back up to the sky. And we're going to hug the knees in. So we'll come into a nice little tuck position. And you can move freely here if you want to rock and roll, if you want to wiggle the toes, or any little intuitive movements, you can take them here if you like. If you want to join me in a couple of circles, maybe we'll do a few circles with the knees in one direction. And maybe a few circles with the knees in the other direction. And then when you're ready, we'll move into happy baby. So we'll take the knees wide and down towards the armpits. And if it's comfortable, we'll shine the soles to the sky and take hold of either outside edges of the feet or the toes. As always, if that feels too much, you can always take hold of your ankles, or you can just let the feet drop and hold your knees. And whatever version we're in, we might take a little sway side to side, or we might hang out in stillness, whatever works for you. Beautiful. So from here, we'll release the feet. We're just going to hug the knees back in for a tuck once more. So we'll just hug those knees in towards the heart for a moment. And then from here, we're just going to expand out long along the ground. So you can be a long line if you like. You can spread out like a starfish if you prefer. So whatever feels nice, just to find space through the body and just make a lovely big shape upon the earth as we extend through fingers and toes. Beautiful. So when you feel ready, we'll bring the arms alongside the body and we'll take a moment to get ready for our Shavasana, our relaxation and meditation time. So for you, that might mean gathering socks and woolly jumpers or a blanket, or you might want to take a pause to go and get yourself a drink. So whatever you like, take your time to find your restful place. There's no rush, there's no hurry. If you can find yourself a sunbeam to lay in, like a cozy cat, feel free to do so. But whatever restful, warm place is all good. And as always, you can be flat on the ground, you can have soft knees if you prefer. If you like to take your meditation seated, you can do that too. So really whatever works for you is all good. Beautiful, just taking a little time. Lovely, lovely. So as we find our place to settle upon the earth, we might close the eyes or let the gaze be soft. We might draw warm blankets around us. Feel the support beneath us. So taking our time to settle both into this restful place and to once again settle with the body, with the breath, with the mind. As always, nothing has to be perfect. We're just finding a little bit of peace in whatever way it appears for us today, even if it's just a moment to have a little lie down and have a little breathe. As the body settles in its own way, the breath calm, any busy thoughts just drift away for a moment. the rhythm of the breath, the rise and fall, just helping to guide us into a place of ease. So it might be that each inhale is drawing in a sense of peace, of safety, of calm. And each and every time we inhale, we draw in a little of that energy to help guide us to our restful place. And then with each exhale, you can let go of anything we wish to release, whether that's tension or tightness, whether it's a busy thought or a stress or a worry. Allowing the rhythm of the breath to draw in and let go. Our own personal journey of drawing in the things we need and letting go of what we wish to release. The cauldron of warming sings with insights of grace, with strata of poetic lore. It brings enlightenment and learning in streams of honor. Joy turns it. This is how the cauldron sings. So my beautiful yogis, perhaps the next inhale is just a little longer, a little deeper than the last. Maybe we take a luxurious twist or stretch or wiggle as we begin to bring our awareness back to the room and back to the day. And just in your own time, we'll gently bend the knees and pop the soles of the feet on the floor. We'll roll to our comfortable side in that little yogi recovery pose, just to take a breath or two. And when you feel ready, we'll gently rise to an easy seat, and we'll just take a final moment to breathe, to settle. So to finish our practice today, let's take a nice deep inhale. We're going to sweep the arms high, reaching to the ceiling. We're going to bring the palms together. We're going to exhale, hands to heart center in prayer. From here, we can gently open the eyes, and to ourselves and each other, we say namaste. Namaste, my darling ones. The light in me honors the light in you.